What's up, you guys? We are back with another video. My name is Crystal Denitra, and thank you for tuning in to Truth TV Podcast. I just want to thank everyone for taking time to listen to my videos. I welcome any new subscribers, and thank you to those who have already subscribed to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos. We need the likes on the videos to get up so YouTube's algorithm can put more out in the atmosphere, like videos like mine and others. There are so many people who need to hear this information. I talk a lot about narcissistic abuse. I am a narcissistic and domestic abuse survivor. Like I told you guys before, I am in no means, way, shape, or form a victim. I started this platform to allow myself to get my story out, as well as allowing others to come on the platform to discuss. We have yet to have any guests on the platform, and I'm still waiting to hear from you guys. So if you have a story that you want to tell, if you want to come on the platform, you are more than welcome. You can email me at truth.tvpodcast@gmail. You can also follow me on Instagram. Again, this is an anti-bullying, no shaming platform. I will not allow any bullying of any sort on this platform. So if you are worried about that, you don't have to worry, honey. Your girl got you covered totally. So today we're going to talk about narcissistic abuse recovery. Pretty much, I've given you guys a lot about my life and some of the horrendous things that I have had the pleasure of going through. And I'm going to say pleasure because it really taught me a lot about myself. It really taught me about how strong I actually am. I grew up in a household where I was the scapegoat. And what a scapegoat is the person that family members pretty much dump all of their drama and trauma onto. I grew up in the church. I've seen a lot of different things. Some things I'm still not comfortable with talking about as far as what happened in church, but I will eventually get there. But pretty much I was always treated like a stepchild. Whatever I did, it wasn't good enough. I really didn't have a voice. Certain things that was happening in the family, I could never speak of or bring up. When people get upset if I bring certain things up. And even with this platform, I'm figuring when my family really finds out about it and really finds out what I'm up to, I know that they're going to be upset. But at this point, I really don't give a damn, like I said before. It is my time to start shining in the light that God has called me to shine into. And I know I don't go through things just for myself. It's always to help other people. Really, my abuse and the discard from my family activated my dreams. It activated my healing. So I feel like this was necessary for me to start a platform for me to be able to heal myself and help heal others. Like I said, I know some people are not going to be happy about it once they find out what I've been up to. But like I said, I'm ready for all the smoke because I have endured a lot, just from being made feel being put down, being made to feel that I wasn't good enough. When I wanted to go to college, I was told that I should just work. Basically I wouldn't be good at college. Anything that I had set my mind to, it was always a negative or it was always a drawback. And it really defeated me for years. For years, I thought I wasn't good enough to do anything. I just knew that I was good in interviews. I would always land the jobs that I always, that I went up for. But that wasn't fulfilling enough. I felt like just working a job was not completing me, and my caretaker always drilled that in my head. You have to work, because that's what she did. Sometimes she had 3 and 4 jobs, just to make ends meet. And I was doing things, following in a career just because other people, that's what they were doing in my family. But now I'm realizing it's time for me to do what I need to do for myself. This whole recovery process has not been easy. I had to get back in therapy. I had to, read my Bible more, meditate more, just do things that will keep me on the right path. Not only did I leave a narcissistic family, pretty much, I married a narcissist. Because I'm such an empathic person, I always have compassion for people. And I told you guys in previous videos that my trauma bond with my ex-husband was the reason why I stayed so long, is because I felt sorry for his story and the things that he had going on, all while, he was abusing me and I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting my children's needs. And once I realized that these people are never going to change, I had to make a change and just remove myself. For so many years, even up to a month ago, it seems like I was begging my family to just have a meeting with me to hear my side. I'm 40 years old and I feel like these people really still don't know me. No one has really sat down and had a conversation with me, to figure out what's going on. I told you guys I went through that divorce by myself. No one was sitting in court with me holding my hand. Pretty much when I told my family I was getting the divorce, they were upset. My mom kept saying, well, you need to stay in that relationship. You need to stay. You need your husband. You need your husband. And she was only talking from a financial aspect. She wasn't talking, saying it to be in a positive way. And I'm thinking to myself, why would I want to stay with someone who's abusive? Why would I want to stay with someone that I have to constantly look over my shoulder just to see what they're doing? I had lost all comfortability with him years prior to me, leaving and choosing to separate. And I had also been warning him for years that, if things don't change, I was going to walk. And of course, he didn't think that I was serious about it, but I had to just make the decision. It was becoming really unsafe. Like I told you guys in the previous videos, there were a couple times that I really thought that he was going to unalive me, and unalive me with weapons or either just with his bare hands. And I'm like, I cannot allow someone to keep treating me this way. I felt like I deserved better, but I didn't have a voice and I really didn't know how to voice that. So I made the decision to walk away, and I'm telling you guys, it was the best thing that I could do. Now, unfortunately, because we have children together, I still have to keep contact with him just for certain things. But pretty much I'm my children's main caretaker. I'm doing all the doctor's appointments, eye appointments. I'm doing all the parent-teacher conference. He doesn't call and check on them during the week at all. And we've been divorced now going on 6 years. And it's like pretty much once I left him, he divorced the kids as well. Even though he keeps them on the weekend, it's still like a divorce. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, since your mom left, I'm just going to give you guys grief too. And it's not fair to the kids and it's unfortunate, but I always try to reassure my children that mommy's got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you guys fall. I'm not going to let you guys want for anything. I will struggle to the end to do whatever is necessary to take care of you guys. So once I made that decision, my kids understood it. Granted, my daughter was 2 when we separated. So she didn't really understand at the time what was going on. But my son, he was a little bit older. He was 9. So he understood it. But, he wasn't really fond of the idea of the family breaking up. And I understood. But now that they're 16 and almost 10, they definitely get it. They definitely see why I made the decision to do what I needed to do. Like I said, it wasn't easy. Even doing this podcast some days is not easy, but I have to push myself because I know this is the way that I'm going to heal. And like I said, when they figure out what I'm up to, they're going to be upset. They're going to try to, smear my name. They've been doing that for years anyway. But it's just they're going to have me try to make a delusion of, well, it wasn't that bad, or, I don't remember this happening, because that's what narcissistic people do. They always forget that the abuse that they put people through. And I just made up in my mind that I really don't care what they think. I'm a grown adult. I chose to make a platform, like I said, to heal and to help heal others. And I'm not going to let anybody, deter me from that. I'm going to get paid off my pain all 2023. That is my slogan. And I'm working on projects to enable me and my children to have longevity. And that's really my goal. You can't stop through the storm. You have to keep pushing. And some days that I want to stop, I just know that I have to keep pushing, because recovery comes one day at a time. It is not something that you can just, wake up from and all of a sudden you're healed from it. It's a day-to-day process. And me understanding this process, I know that it's going to be things that I have to do and say in order to get on the other side. But I'm just glad that God enabled me, and he's given me so many different visions to be able to come out on the other side and be triumphant over this thing, because it wasn't easy growing up with people, that they don't like you, that they don't, really want to deal with you. And there's no really apparent reason why, like I said, I'm 40 now, and no one has had a real conversation with me. No one has sat down and said, well, what's been going on, all of these years in your life. They're just going off hearsay from the caretaker. So I told you guys before, I decided to go no contact with her. I blocked, removed, did whatever I had to do. But narcissistic people always hoover and try to come back. They try to come back through other people. They try to send text messages. They call other people that you guys know just to see, hey, what's going on. They'll send cards, letters, emails, or whatever. But you just have to keep blocking them. Keep going no contact. Because the more you keep going no contact, the more clear the message that you're trying to send is going to be to them. These people are not dumb. They know exactly what they've done. I don't have to remind people. I don't have to text people going off anymore, about what they've done to me. Because once I had it up in my head that they weren't going to change and that I had to make a change, that was it for me. Like it's nothing else that needs to be said or done. Like I said, I've reached out, but if people don't want to reach back, I feel like that's just God's way of protecting me. He saw all the drama and trauma that they caused. So that's his protection now, to make them ignore me, to make certain people not want to get to know the adult version of Crystal Denitra. So that's just that on that. Like I said, it's an everyday process. It doesn't, sometimes I feel like it doesn't get easier. I have to still push and pry out of the depression. I have to still kind of push myself out of bed to do certain things. But like I said, this thing is necessary. Leaving one narcissistic situation to another, not really knowing what you're getting into because I was still young. It took a toll on me mentally. It took a toll on me physically. I started to lose crazy weight. At first, I was really fat, y'all. I gained a lot of weight. And then as I stopped eating, I lost the weight. And people were thinking, oh, she must have went to the gym or this or that. No, it was just stress and depression from dealing with people who put that stress on me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say I allowed it, but as a child, you don't know no better. You don't get to choose who you're raised by. You don't get to choose your family, unfortunately. Because I know if I had a choice, honey, it would be totally different today. Narcissistic people, they use whatever you tell them against you. Sometimes I will find myself, running off at the mouth like diarrhea to my caretaker. And no sooner that I'm telling her something, it's like a light bulb switches. She uses that stuff right against me. So I had to learn how to shut up. I just had to learn to be silent. I had to learn to just listen to them and not say anything about myself, because just like the court of law is going to be used at a later date. So, narcissistic people, they thrive on wanting to drag things out. They thrive on drama. They thrive on seeming like they're entitled to know what's going on in your life. Like I remember when I was married, my caretaker would just insert herself so much in my marriage. And I think that's another reason why we probably didn't work out, because she was so far into what was going on with us and not worrying about herself. And I kind of allowed that. You know what I'm saying? I allowed the manipulation. I allowed the bullying. I allowed all of that stuff. But once I found my voice, even though it's after, the abuse and after the marriage. I will no longer allow anyone to drag my name through the mud. Like, you could say whatever you want to about me, but I learned that I don't have to defend myself, because he's going to be my ultimate defender. And I just want to let you guys know that it's okay to walk away from toxic people. I said this before in my other videos. It is okay to separate yourself from people who mean you no good. Toxic people only want misery. They only thrive off misery. And whatever they can do to make you miserable as well, they're going to find a way to do it. Recovery makes you deal with your emotions. You know what I'm saying? It makes you understand what went wrong, the parts you played in things. I understand my parts and what I did wrong in all of the relationships that didn't go well. And sometimes I had to place myself in the shoes of a narcissist, even to good people that were good to me. Sometimes I felt like I portrayed narcissistic traits because that's what I was taught. I was putting up a shield. I was putting up a front. Or sometimes when dating people, for example, I would call out all of their negative, and do it so quickly to make them not want to deal with me, or make them say, well, hey, I want to take a step back from this. Just always being nitpicky and critiquey, because that's what people were doing to me. But once I realized that that's not the proper thing to do, and everybody deserves a chance until proven guilty, I had to find different ways to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? But when you're dealing with narcissistic people and you grew up in this kind of abusive, toxic environment, you start to pick up different traits that, are not good and can sever healthy relationships. Like I told you guys before, a lot of the time I was just angry. I was angry at people that I didn't even know. I was angry at people at my job. I was angry at people going to school. For one instance, I was in nursing school one time, and I used to carpool with four girls. So it was, I think, 4 or 5 of us all together. One time I lashed out on them so bad because me and my husband, my ex-husband at the time, we had an argument before I went to school. And I felt so bad afterwards. I mean, I was screaming and yelling at these girls, and they were just looking at me like, what is going on with her? A lot of displaced anger, and I want to apologize to those girls if they are listening. I don't want to call your names just for, privacy reasons. But if you ever listen to the videos, this is my sincere apology to you guys. You guys didn't deserve that. You were good girls, just trying to go to school and get your education. You know what I'm saying? One of the girls actually ended up living with me and my ex-husband because she had some things going on at the time. And I remember just not being so kind to her because I was in this abusive relationship while she was there. And it just took a toll on me, and I didn't know how to really handle it. But so that's my apology to you guys. That's my formal apology to you guys. Again, if you're listening. But like I said, recovery makes you deal with your emotions. I had to learn how to turn my emotions off with dealing with toxic people. Because number one, I don't want to end up in jail. I got too much going for myself right now. And number two, it's just not worth it. It's too energy draining. You know what I'm saying? It takes up too much time to be toxic and evil than it does to be kind and nice. So my healing consists of these things, and I wrote them down. Stop looking for validation from other people. Stop waiting for people to validate your feelings, your thoughts, your dreams, your hopes, because they're not. Stop waiting for people to show up for you who won't. The only person that you need to be worried about showing up for you is you. God is already seeing. He knows all. He knows what you need, and he will do the rest. We talked about profiting off your pain. Profit off your pain. Put your pain into projects that will allow you to make income, would allow you to make impacts in other people's lives. Stop accepting others' negative perceptions of you. So whatever people have to say, let them say what they're going to say. Stop wasting so much time defending yourself. Stop allowing the devil to make you think you can't be free, because that's what narcissistic people and toxic people do. They make you feel like you're going to continue to be in this cycle of abuse with them if you don't ultimately put your foot down. Stop making the devil win. Stop telling toxic people your business, because they're only going to manipulate you later. Speak with authority. Stand on your boundaries and set clear boundaries. Tell people exactly what you want. You don't have to be rude and offensive, but you can definitely set boundaries and stand on those boundaries. Don't let people tell you your truth isn't your truth. Now that's a big one. Like I said, when my family finds out what I'm up to and the projects that I have coming up, they're not going to be happy. But what I'm not going to do is to allow them to tell me that my truth is not my truth. I have no reason to come on a platform and lie about anybody. It's not for clicks, views. It's not for that type of likes. I'm telling my story to heal myself and to help others heal. Call out things for what they are. Stop allowing stuff to get swept up under the rug. That's a big one, because in my family, I just feel like it was, always secrets. It was always things that, oh, well, we can talk about it, but Crystal can't know. Oh, well, we can do this, but Crystal can't know. Just call out stuff for what it is. And people will deny your pain just to cover up the abuse. Most toxic people are going to come together. They're going to hide everything that they can in secret together. The scapegoated person or the scapegoated family member, they're always going to be surrounded by flying monkeys. And what flying monkeys are the people that basically enable toxic people's behaviors. They're the people that's cheering them on to keep the BS going. So once you do these things and you start to heal yourself and you start to go back to therapy, you start to pray, you start to meditate, you start to yearn healthy relationships, God will send the people in your life that you need. God will definitely step in and work on your behalf. These people are, like I said, they're miserable people. They're people that, get caught up with what they're driving, what they have in their home, how big their house is. All of that stuff, just like Kanye West said, to cover up what's inside, because they don't want to deal with their own internal issues. But once you put it up in your mind that you're going to come out of the toxicity, you will have a peace that you haven't had before. God will grant you the peace that you've never seen before. This is the most peaceful I have been. I'm sitting here right now talking to you guys with a candle lit. I got an incense lit. My fireplace is on. You have to make your environment and your surrounding peaceful, and God will allow that to happen. Like I said before, even purchasing a home, that was something that I wanted to do before I was 40. And I did it at 36 and a half. And even with that process, I didn't get any support from my family. I didn't get, a congratulations or this or that, because any successful moment that I have, they always tried to take it away from me. But God gave me this place. God gave me this peace, and I have to keep running with it. Like I told you guys before, I had to literally separate myself from my ex-husband while he was at work, because I knew how me leaving with the kids was going to impact him in a negative way. And I never wanted to see my kids in harm's way. I didn't want to be in harm's way. And I knew it was an unsafe situation. So I'm still asking God to cover me in that situation, because I still don't trust him. I don't trust the fact that he's not emotionally stable. He's the type of person where he told me he doesn't need therapy. He pretty much doesn't believe in therapy. He kept trying to send me to therapy, but he didn't want to go to therapy and do the work. So I knew I had to make a change. I don't want to be portrayed as, a bitch or just this angry Black woman. I wanted to change the narrative of my family. I wanted to change the narrative of how to raise kids. I definitely feel that I'm the generational curse breaker. I want to start new things and new traditions with my children, for them to start with their children in a healthy, positive manner. That is what I'm striving for. So again, as always, if you guys have any questions or if you would like to share any stories, you can email me at truth.tvpodcast. I am here for you. I don't want you guys to feel like you are in this alone. Narcissistic abuse recovery is one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? It's one day at a time. You can't just wake up one day and everything, all your childhood trauma just goes away. You have to put in the work. And so since I decided to put in the work, I'm choosing me first. I'm choosing my happiness. I'm choosing my peace. I'm choosing to surround myself with healthy people, not users, not abusers, not people who want to drink all day, not people who want to get high all day. And like I said, I'm not talking about anybody and what you choose to do. But as for me and my house, for right now, I'm not choosing to be around any of that. I don't want anybody's negative juju jumping off on me. So that's today's video, you guys. I would love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe and comment to the channel. Again, if you have any questions, you know how to find me. And also, friend us on Instagram. We need some more Instagram friends over there. I appreciate you guys for going on this journey with me. And I appreciate you guys for allowing me to be in your space. And just know that you guys are not alone. If you have, are you in a toxic in a toxic relationship right now? Excuse me, guys. There's so many thoughts running through my head. You guys can call the crisis hotline number. Is down at the bottom. It's 988 from any phone, 24/7, 365. They will come up with a plan for you to an exit strategy, because we always want people to be safe at the end of the day. Again, I thank you guys for listening. And until next time, be safe and be blessed. Peace.